Hi guys, and welcome to a new video on Byteofgeek. Today I'm going to be doing a 6-month review of my Blink XT2 camera and letting you know some of the issues that I've gone and found during that time period. Talk about things like the battery life, nighttime quality and general overall performance of the camera. So let's get to it. So just over 6 months ago I bought the Blink XT2 single camera system complete with its base station, and I got that on an offer on Amazon. There was a free Echo Dot with it, so effectively that brought the price down by about £25, which made it too good to refuse really. I'd previously seen the Blink XT camera system and the issues that customers had with that, and obviously I was hoping the XT2 was going to resolve a lot of that. So just to give you some key points of this system, basically you get free cloud storage with this, which is quite nice. It's completely wireless, so it's a Wi-Fi communication system, and it runs off 2 batteries, special long life batteries, and you can attach a number of cameras onto the base unit, so you get a small box like this in this picture, and that you just plug that somewhere where your Wi-Fi can talk to it, and obviously within range of your camera system, and you get a mount with it like this. So I bought this probably a month or so before the UK winter got into full swing with all the rain, etc. And so I was fully expecting some of the issues that some customers had been experiencing to get those as well. Most notably there was the kind of like the fogging up, the condensation on the lens, and to be fair to Blink, I didn't get that at all on this. It worked superb during that time, and it didn't even with the strong winds, it didn't even blow off the mount. The mount to me is just, it's a really basic mount that they give you in the box. It's got a very flimsy connection system on it, but obviously it holds the camera in place during the wind. But I'm sure if somebody hit it with a pole or something like that, it would quite easily just come straight off the mount. So you need to be able to mount these high enough up to prevent somebody being able to do something like that, or to be able to reach it. So during that 6 months or so, the camera's worked fine. It's not been great. I've had to contact Blink customer support on a number of occasions to try and resolve some of the issues. Some of them are still unresolved. It's apparently a feature, in quotes, of the camera, and I noticed they actually have a caveat on their website notifying you about some of these things, and these are some of the things I'll actually go through in this video and show you sample clips of what I'm talking about. So the first issue really is nighttime quality. In the app for the camera that you put on your mobile device, you have various IR settings on there, and I've tried them all at all different levels, and I think it's fair to say that it goes from too dark to overexposed, and even at the middle level the quality is just not there to be something I would say is going to be useful of a night time. I think maybe if you've got another light outside that illuminates the area, that may well help, but if you don't, then you're pretty much going to get some kind of whiteout effect or complete darkness where you're just looking at shadows really. And obviously, some people have said you need to make sure your camera's within a reasonable range for it to be able to lighten up that area. My camera's mounted well within the range to be able to effectively allow the IR to work properly, and unfortunately for me it just isn't good enough at night time. I don't think you'd be able to pull out recognisable features, either facial or clothing or shoes or something like that, unless probably you've got that external light outside your property. So the second issue that I've got is all really around motion detection, and this is kind of broken down into 3 different areas. These different points are all leading up to the final point, which is to do with battery life, but I'll go through the motion side of things first. So the first point really within the motion detection side of things is reflections, and I'll show you a small clip of this in action. But basically what happens is my house has a driveway, has a car parked on the driveway, and over night time traffic goes past the front of the house. It's not a particularly busy road, but it's not ultimately a quiet road, and the headlight reflections from those vehicles going past, they reflect onto my car, the windows, the paintwork, and that causes the camera to pick that up as being motion and then records that. And you can see that in this clip here. Now, the second issue is the opposite of this. It's shadows, and you can see that in this clip coming up. And this, maybe you're out of the house, you're on holiday, you're shopping or whatever, and your vehicle isn't on the driveway, but it's a sunny day, and vehicles, probably high-sided vehicles, something like that, or even cars going past, and they're casting shadows across your property, and the camera sees that as being movement as well, and of course it triggers a recording for that. Finally, and I've actually got a couple of clips on this one here, is the human motion detection. So I have my camera set up, and there's a grid layout where you can define where you want the camera to be able to effectively see, and mine is set to pick up the vast majority, probably 99% of the area where the camera can actually see. And as you can see on these 2 clips, first one is the postman, and the camera's picked him up right when he's at the doorstep. So he's walked all the way up the drive, he's gone past the car, and he's appeared on the camera right as he's put the letter in the letterbox. And the second clip we got here is a parcel delivery guy, and he's majority of the way on the drive as well. Well guys, if you're still with me at this point, then obviously I'm doing something right in the video, so hit that like and subscribe to the channel, and that basically lets me know that obviously this stuff is interesting to you, and I'll create more content like this. So for me it's a bit odd, because when the camera's picking up things like reflections and shadows, a lot of those are actually picked up at the outer boundary of where the camera's seeing. But with humans, it seems that it's only picking them up when they're closer to the property, and I don't have an answer to that yet. I know it's an IR-based camera, and that is one of the traits of it, but I would have thought it would have done better on that. People say, put it at an angle on your property and have it record out sideways on for the area that you're trying to see. It works better that way. Certainly that's what Blink suggested. However, I don't have that option, and I want the camera recording pretty much front on. I want to be able to see the people approaching the property, and that for me is a bit of a killer on this, is that it doesn't work properly in those circumstances. When you take all of these things into account, the motion detection, they all are all triggering your camera at some way. And the other issue as well is the nighttime visibility of the camera. So obviously in the application you have IR settings where you can change it from low to high, and for me it just goes from underexposed to overexposed. The middle ground is neither use nor ornament. At the highest level everything's a white out, and you can see that in this clip here. You just cannot see the registration number on my car, but you put it down to its lowest level and everything is too dark. For me that's just pointless. You're not going to be able to pick out facial features, clothing, shoes or anything like that. Some people say well, it needs to be closer to the area where it is. This isn't particularly high up. It's not like it's on the roof of the house. It's out of reach, because obviously I don't want somebody just walking up and taking it off the mount. but equally, it's not too high up where it's not going to be able to detect things properly. So these are my key issues with this camera that I've had over the last 6 months, and when you take all of those factors together, then ultimately you find that you end up replacing the batteries an awful lot earlier than what Blink advertise. So they say that the batteries should last up to 2 years, and this is based upon very specific details, and I'll just read those out to you now. So it's average use per day of 8 seconds of live viewing and 60 seconds of motion activated recording and 6 seconds of two-way audio, and on that average basis the battery should last 2 years. My camera ends up activating an awful lot more than that, even though they're only up to 30-second clips. They are set to stop once motion is finished being detected. As I say, after 6 months I found I was replacing the batteries on these. The batteries aren't super expensive, they are more expensive than AA batteries, regular AA batteries, but you need to be prepared for that. I think if you've got this looking out across the back of your garden, or the side of your property where there's probably less traffic and footfall, then those claims will probably be right. But certainly where you've got something where there is motion pretty much during the day, all the day, then this is not going to be the solution that you need unless you're prepared to pay for the batteries. Obviously there are things like solar panels you can get for this, and you could potentially even hardwire it in, I guess, but that's not why you bought this in the first place. You bought this because it was a wireless solution. Obviously it's got two-way audio on it as well. It's not a feature I've gone and used. I've not found the need to be able to do that, and a lot of that is down primarily to the issues that the camera had, or the software in the camera had, very early on, and that is the notification side of things. So what you would find is that motion would be detected, and before you even got the notification, that person would have disappeared off your property. I subsequently found out that the reason that it took so long to do this is not what many people thought, which was to do with your position of your camera and your base station to your Wi-Fi and the signal strength. I'm sure they probably do contribute towards it. However, it's based upon the length of time that you've got set for your recording clip. So if you've got 10-second recording clip length, then after 10 seconds it sends the notification. All credit to Blink. They have gone and introduced a new feature on one of the latest updates, and that is an early notification system. And effectively what that does is, as soon as it detects motion, it sends you that notification before it starts doing the recording, and I think that's a big improvement. There's still a little bit of work that they can do on that, but that is much better than what they had previously implemented. You have both options still, but obviously now you stand more of a chance of being able to talk to the person who might be in that space. So after 6 months, it's still on my property. My general thought is, it's an okay system. It's definitely not professional grade. It excels in some areas and it falls down terribly on others. I would recommend it as a starter system. Maybe you could add on some of the other cameras, and as I said earlier on in the video, if you've got external lighting at the front of your property, that might help with a lot of these things. And obviously, everybody's home is different, the way they are positioned from the street, what goes on around them and things like that. So it's worth trying it as a system, and compared to other systems, other wireless based systems that are out there, it does seem to have more favourable reviews than the other systems. It is a nice discrete system, and obviously for a key selling point is that cloud storage. You're not paying for that, so you haven't got that expensive ongoing cost which some of the other systems do have. So I will more than likely be keeping with this system. I may well add on a second camera. That's my experience after 6 months. That's what my environment's like, and there's my update. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm sure there'll be a load of you putting comments in down below about this. You know, I'll try and reply to as many as I can. I'll put a link in the description as well for this if you want to try it out. If you enjoyed the video and you found some of these things informative, then please, you know, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You know, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.